There she is. Nah. That girl last night was wild. You're like an animal.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to another bold and a beautiful review. So as you can see, Deacon is very excited about his night with the mystery lady. He says she didn't talk much last night, although he doesn't mind, but he wants to know what her name is, and she just sits there silently. And I had to laugh at him calling himself daddy again and calling her an animal, considering that Sheila supposedly got eaten by a bear.
What happened here? What happened to your toe?
Sheila Carter is dead.
Unbelievable. Killed by a bear.
Detective said that her toe.
So after seeing the missing toe, it didn't take Deacon long to realize who the mystery lady was. I'm sorry, even with the prosthetics on her face, I still could see that was Sheila. And I saw most of your comments. Most everybody was like, okay, that's Sheila. Like, she didn't look that different. Now, Kimberly did post a video on her Instagram showing the process that they went through to transform her into the new character. I may post that as well. But you can see the horror on Deacon's face as he realizes that Sheila is not dead.
No. This can't be. There's no way. It can't be.
So Sheila removes her prosthetics and her wigs and reveals who she is to Deacon. He is, like I said, an absolute horror. And our suspicions are proven true. Yes, this crazy lady cut off her toe to pull this off. How sadistic do you have to be to do something like that? But I still have to say, they killed this scene. From the looks on Deacon's face to Sheila with her evil grin, Deacon even let out a little scream when she threw the wig and facial stuff at him. And then ending the scene with Sheila saying, "Mama's back." It's over the top, but some of the other stuff that they put out there is so repetitive. It's just good to see something different sometimes. So this is a portion of the video that I mentioned earlier of Sheila getting her prosthetics. Go to Kimberly's Instagram page if you want to see the whole thing. But it's very interesting the process that they go through. But I still say that I could tell that was Sheila easily, even with the prosthetics in place. So one of the spoilers for next week says that Hope is going to arrive to Deacon's house unexpectedly and be surprised by what she sees. So I guess she's going to run up on Sheila. I don't think it's going to be Sheila out of makeup, but I guess we're going to have to believe that Hope doesn't realize that this is Sheila as well, with the red hair and all the prosthetics on. So I guess they're going to run this out for a while. It's going to be interesting to see how this plays out.
Yeah, Deacon and Bill. And Granddad.
Well, we're just naming names now, is it?
Yeah, we're not gonna sit here and name names, Ridge. We'd be here all day.
Wow.
Yeah, we're not gonna do that. Especially, it was more than kisses. It was
So what do we do? Just a laundry list of all the things that Brooke's done wrong?
Brooke has let you down so many.
I've let her down too. I'm not a saint.
It's kind of a Boy Scout in comparison. Okay, if she's getting...
So Ridge tells Taylor and Steffy that he told Brooke about the Monaco kiss and that Brooke was hurt about it, but she forgave him. Steffy thinks that Brooke is a hypocrite and then goes on and on naming names of people that Brooke has been with. But I'm thinking not one person on this show can talk, because they all swap beds and are pretty much incestuous. So not one person on this show can talk about running through different men and women. And Ridge finally admits that he's not a saint. But of course, Taylor and Steffy are right there to tell him, oh, but what you did is not half as bad as what Brooke has done. So Steffy continues to tell him that he needs to leave Brooke and be with Taylor, and that he needs to stand up to Brooke for the family to let Douglas come back and stay with Thomas. Like I said yesterday, Steffy's dialogue has been pretty repetitive for the past few days, and I'm just over it. I'm over it.
It's like our history has been erased. Our whole love story is just gone. And it's like it's just always been Brooke, you know? But that's changing, and there's feelings that are coming up now, like old feelings, and we're both feeling it, and it's confusing, I know. But it's been like that since I've been back.
So they actually started this conversation with Taylor telling Ridge that he's over there a lot, and she thinks that he's happier there than at Brooke's house. And he kind of says, yeah. Even though yesterday he told Brooke that he loves her more than anything. So again, we have this man who it has to be 60 plus at this point, playing both of these women. And at this point, it's been 30 plus years. Writers, let's move on. Look at Young and the Restless, how they have finally settled. Remember, for years, Victor, Ashley, and Nikki, that triangle went on for years, but they have settled them. Victor is with Nikki, and Ashley is doing her own thing. Let's get these two women men. Let Ridge pick which one he wants to stay with, and let's not have these people that are grandparents still chasing after our men. The story is tired at this stage in their lives. Now, I will give it to the writers that they did put some interesting touches in this conversation. For one, Taylor says, I'm not the same person that I was when you were married to me all those years ago. And Ridge says the same thing, kind of shouting out the fact that they are both different actors playing these characters. So I thought that was interesting. And also her mentioning that their love story has kind of been erased. And kind of with Hunter Tylo leaving the story, they did there was no one to fill that role of Taylor. So yes, they did not focus on that story any longer. Drop in the comments and let me know your thoughts about that, and if you notice those touches that they put into the writing.
I know you've always wanted Thomas to build a relationship with Douglas. I'm thrilled that he wants to be more hands-on. Douglas needs that. He deserves that. That's great, but he doesn't have to move over to Eric's house with him. And this whole Forrester thing, what does it matter? Who is a Forrester and who isn't? What matters is Douglas. The focus should be on Douglas and what he wants.
Now, Hope goes on to say that she's never heard Douglas ask to live with his father, and Brooke adds that he's too young to make a decision like that. I do think that's some foreshadowing, because I saw a spoiler that says they are indeed going to ask Douglas where he wants to live, and I'm thinking that he's probably going to say Thomas. But I agree with Hope on the whole thing about what difference does it make who's a Forrester, because as some people in the comments online always remind us, Ridge is actually a Maroney. So I hate that Steffy always loves to bring up, oh, we're Forresters and we need to come back to the Forresters. Like, just stop it. But Brooke goes on to tell Hope that Ridge kissed Taylor in Monaco, and just like Steffy defending her mother, Hope is doing the same.
It must have been for Ridge and Taylor to find out that Finn was alive, but yeah, they were overcome with emotion and gratitude. Yes, that when we found out, we were so amazed that we took a picture together. But we did not kiss Taylor. So what are you saying? That Ridge just happened to forget that he was married again? Okay.
So all the ladies are being super shady and super spicy today. Notice how Hope threw her little dig about, we took a picture because Ridge threw a fit about that, and then he had already kissed Taylor. So Hope reminds her that Ridge is still her husband and wants to know if she's upset. And Brooke defends Ridge just like he was defending Brooke. It's so funny to me how Hope can see where Ridge is wrong, but when Brooke tries to point out stuff to her about Liam, she can't see it and she gets all naive. But I think the kids just need to step back, and the parents may need to stop confiding in their kids about every little thing, because it's going to continue this feud between the two families. So tomorrow is going to be very interesting to see how Deacon handles knowing that Sheila is alive. Is he going to turn her in immediately, or is she going to finesse her way into his life? Anyways, thank you for watching. Please like the video, share, and subscribe. Comment below, and I'll catch you on the next one.